So the mind is like, it works with the principle garbage in, garbage out. So if you feed your mind with positivity, you're likely to act positively or speak positively. What we talk about is self-acceptance. Who are you? What is your name? When you walk into an office or you go to somebody's house, the first thing they would want you to mention is your name if you're to introduce yourself. So who are you? What is your name? I'd also want to ask, do you truly believe and accept that that is who you are? Your name is like a label given to you. So do you accept this label or not? Now, when you look at yourself, what about you do you love and don't love? What about you will help your becoming or won't help? So in the self-acceptance stage, it is where you look at yourself and accept who God has made. So when you accept that this is me, Fiona, and then you examine yourself and accept that this is me, this is who I am, this is what I do, and all that, then you can move on to the next stage of becoming. So in self-acceptance, it is appreciating your spirit, your soul, and then your body, because all these come together to make you who you are. So today, after knowing about self-acceptance, I believe that you go back to your rooms, look at yourself, ask yourself who you are, and then accept yourself as you are. Then we'll move on to the second stage of becoming, that is self-discovery. In the self-discovery stage, you have accepted who you are. In this stage, you get to explore who you are. So you discover yourself, beginning with your source, who and where you are connected to. So as a Christian, I would say that my source is God. I am God's image. So that's the angle from which I understand myself. So if I'm exploring myself, if I'm discovering myself, I'll discover myself in that angle. And then also, I would look at me. What do I like? What don't I like? What are my talents? What gifts do I have? And self-discovery is not just about the gifts, the talents, what you can do and what you cannot do. Your health, your physical body is all part of it. I remember there was a time where, I think during the COVID season, I took time out to kind of like study my body and how it works, to know the kind of foods that are good for me and those that are not, to know the kind of pomade that works well with my skin and that's which does not work well for my skin. So with all these, it is very important that in your self-discovery stage, you don't only focus on your talents, your gifts, and then your likes and dislikes, but also your body. Being a young person or a youth at this stage is like your heydays. It is your day, like daytime, everywhere is bright and you can see all that you want to see or all that must be seen. So in this very stage, it is very important that you don't ignore your physical body and your health as well. Because your soul and spirit can only function well on earth if your body is intact, if your body is in good health. Now, how to discover? Read, listen, observe, ask questions. So we have articles online, we have books and magazines that you can actually get information from whenever you want it and however you want it. So we shouldn't ignore the art of reading in this stage of self-discovery. And then also we should listen. So you listen to yourself, okay? Because there are times that yourself is talking to you. How? There are times you're not feeling well. I think your body is trying to tell you that maybe I'm tired and stressed out, I need to rest. And then we are in the age where social media is more like a life to us. So you're always exposed to your screen. And then there are times that your eyes are blurry, or maybe your eyes are itching, or your eyes are teary. It's just your body trying to tell you that, hey, I'm tired, like the light is too much for me. So if you take out time to listen to what your body is saying, then you can focus and concentrate on how to get it in a good state to work well for you. And then observe. So you observe the happenings around you, you observe what you're being taught, and you observe all that will contribute to your self-discovery stage. Ask questions. I don't think it is wrong to ask questions. So ask questions. Be free to ask when you don't understand anything. Be free to ask when you need clarity on something. And then also socialize. So in this self-discovery stage, there's a lot you need to learn. So attending meetings and gatherings that contribute to your growth and development is very key. And then also you connect with people that will affect you positively during that stage. There is one thing that I have kept for a long time, that everyone needs a mentor. And yes, whoever is ready to learn needs to be taught. And who teaches him or her? It's the teacher, the mentor, the coach. So anybody who is available to help you in your self-discovery stage, to help you in your journey of becoming, you should be open and feel free to engage the individual. Then the third stage of becoming is self-development, the self-development stage. So this is the stage that you develop the self that you have discovered into what you want to become. So let's take the analogy of gold, like when you are mining. So when you're digging the ground, there are a lot of elements you come into contact with. There are a lot of elements in the soil, but then that is not your focus, or that is not what the miner is looking for. So he takes the gold when he finds it, because that is what he wants. And after taking the gold, he takes it further to refine the gold and then use it for the purpose for which he went for the gold. So that happens in the self-development stage. After you have discovered yourself, you need to develop yourself into what you want to become. It is the stage that you refine yourself to fit the name that you want for yourself. This particular stage is actually very difficult and demanding, but you need patience and endurance in order to get through it. Then we have impact. That's the fourth stage. Now you have accepted yourself, you have discovered yourself, you have developed yourself. It is now time for you to go out there. Like Jesus told his disciples, go ye therefore. So you're going out there to help others become. So you're going out there to become the light that will lead others into their place of becoming. So you're going out there to be a guide, a coach, a teacher. You're going out there to make impact. So let your becoming affect others. Let your becoming be a channel that will bring others into the light that you have seen. So now, in an intergenerational world, a world of all ages, we need to accept each other after accepting ourselves, and then we can come together to discover, develop, and make the impact we want to see. So let us keep the mindset that says, yes, we can. A mindset that says, yes, I have failed, but then I can try again. A mindset that says, yes, I can't do this, I need help, and then goes to get the help. A mindset that says, yes, you are experienced than I am, teach me. A mindset that says, you are a newbie, but I can be a guide to help you become a pro. So like this, we can win together in an intergenerational world. Thank you. So I would want to invite questions from whoever has a question. Hello, please, if you can hear me, kindly raise your electronic hand. Let me know I'm not here alone. I'm not alone on the street. Okay, so Teresa is here.
Teresa, if you can just accept the prompt to unmute, please.
Yeah. Okay, so Teresa, do you have a question?
No, please, I don't have a question. I thought you said if we can hear you, we should raise our visual hands.
All right, that's okay. Thank you.
Julie, please, if you can accept the prompt to unmute.
Okay. All right, so Papa Gameli is asking a question and says, in becoming, oh, wait. In becoming, how would one determine what or who they want to become? How would Papa, this question, I'll throw it back to you. Okay, so Papa is asking, in becoming, how would one determine who and what they want to become? So as I spoke about the self-discovery stage, so when you're at the stage of discovery, you are able to discover what you like, what you don't like, what you're capable of doing, and what you are not capable of doing. So after you have discovered all that, there is that voice inside you that draws you to a particular thing. So for me, I listen and answer to the voice. And that is what draws me. So the voice within that draws me to a particular thing in the journey of becoming. Once it's a positive thing, it's a good thing for myself, my growth, and my well-being, I go in for it. Evans is asking that, okay, want to know if your immediate environment have effect on your self-discovery and self-development. Of course, yes. Your environment consists of the things around you, especially the people around you. And that is a major key when it comes to what affects your self-discovery and then self-development. The words from people, what you see people do, can actually distract you or push you to discover yourself or to develop yourself. So yes, it does.
Someone is asking, I would want to ask what one should look out for when looking for a mentor.
What one should look out for when looking for a mentor. When looking for a mentor, does that mentor or the person answer the questions that you have about yourself and your journey? That's one thing that you should look out for. Does that person answer the questions that you have? Can that person help your growth and development? Okay, so at this point, we'll pause on the questions and then we continue. While we wait for Jovisika to join in, Papa Gameli sent a follow-up message for how you identify your mentor. So says your mentor should have already walked the path you wish to step on your developmental journey. The mentor must have compassion and understanding and ready to have a mutually enriching interaction with you. They must be capable of climbing down to your level. And then also they must understand you and be able to speak to your specific developmental needs. So Success McCaffrey, your question has been answered by Papa Gameli. Thank you. Ajovisika is in the room, but I am unable to hear. Okay, so we have Ajovisika here. Ajovisika, kindly unmute yourself. Hello, Ajo.
Okay, maybe you can have your just your audio on, Ajo.
Hello.
Okay. Hello, Ajovi.
Hello.
Yes. You're joining us with your hands. Thank you. That tells us how a good farmer you are.
I know, right?
Yes. Okay, so we have Ajovisika here. She is the outreach and digital coordinator for Adang. She's going to tell us a bit of Adano, and then she would also give us a beautiful poetry performance. So Ajovisika, it's your time. Please do your thing.
Okay. Thank you very much, Fiona.
You are welcome.
And good evening to your audience
Good
as well.
evening. Papa is here actually.
Yes, Papa entered my inbox.
Okay.
Okay, so like Fiona rightly said, I am the outreach digital coordinator for Adang. Adang happens to be a Ghanaian-led, Ghanaian-thought nonprofit organization in Ghana, headquartered in the Volta region. What we basically do is we are concerned about igniting the passion in Ghanaian communities to bring about a future filled with opportunities and hope. And for that matter, we Our approach is more geared towards community empowerment, sustainable community development. So what we also do is that we are mainly into the construction of schools, basic schools, libraries, and certain wash projects. Yes, and we are also into women-led enterprises in deprived communities. Yes, we know that the government cannot do it all. We know other corporate organizations cannot do it all. So we are also playing our role, the little we can do in our community, in ensuring that every child has access to basic quality education. By so doing, we are in turn achieving the sustainable development goals. So our approach is in such a way that we want the communities to feel that sense of ownership. So we don't just go and then have the schools, libraries constructed. We ensure that the community is committed because they will also have to bring something on board, and we bring something on board, and together we do the construction. So at the end of the day, when we leave that community, that village, to the next village, we know that the the villagers or the community members will definitely take good care of whatever it is that we have constructed for them. So that's a little bit about us, Adam. And this year we are
Wow.
20 years old. Yes, libraries. Some of them are e-libraries. And these have been made possible by individual contributors, by our friends and donors from some universities in the US and Europe as well. And so that is it.
Okay.
That's a little bit about Adam. To find more about us, you can just log on to www.adam.org, and you can also find us on all social media platforms as well to get to know more about us and see how best you can also help us to help a community out there.
Wow. Thank you very much.
So that's a
Yeah.
bit about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, give us, a little bit of your juice.
My
Before
Jews.
yeah, your juice or juice.
Okay, so um it's just as a Jovisika, I'm equally passionate about the environment. I'm passionate about how we handle it, because garbage in, garbage out, however we are treating it, it is really going to actually give us the same thing. So since this year is a clarion call to all age groups to come together to work as a team, I am sending this call to you. I'm reminding you of the things we are doing which are not right. So this piece particularly was first performed in 2019 in an environmental slam. So I hope you enjoyed this.
Okay. Ajovi, please, I think the network is not favorable. So if it becomes necessary, can you please turn off your video so that we see if that can help?
Okay.
So that we can hear you very well.
Okay. All right. Asasia, water, air. Asasia, water, air. Asasia, water, air. Here as blood of Asasia, listen, people who breathe Odomankuma and Frama. Lend us the pair you have for hearing. You who quench your thirst and fire, hear us and bear witness to our story. You breathe in what we breathe out, we breathe in what comes out of you. Behold, Asasia. Once upon many pleasant memories, I was the most beautiful goddess, clad in beauty and purity. My eyes were made of gems. I birthed and feed you from my bosom. I was all man needed. Oh, your greed has defiled my innocence. Did you not know that you breathe in what we breathe out, and we breathe out breathe in what comes out of you. See, her daughter water. All things clean and pure, I quench to your taste and make your plants grow, yet you spit in my mouth, empty your bowels in my palms and choke my children to death with chemicals. Have you forgotten? You breathe in what we breathe out. We breathe in what comes out of you. Hear her, cousin. I am everywhere, even in between the cripple and flow, and unbounded by time and space. I was all the fragrance you needed to make your day, but now I wrestle with the stench you produce. Like John Cena, I am present, but you can't see me. Assassina, they have paraded you naked on the streets and made your once plenty hair bald because of deforestation. Today, there was a red moon. The sky was filled with your blood tears as smoke invaded your lungs. Structures are rising where animals should be living, but Mother Earth is a warrior. And she has sounded the battle cry, her soldiers marching forward, not to surrender, but to resist, not to conquer, but to reclaim. We fool ourselves to think we can defeat her, to think we can beat her into submission. She will hold on with her clenched hands and she will not give up. We consume too much of Mother Nature when she is ours to nurture. I don't know if she wants to forgive us, if she can, or ever will. Thank you. So,
Wow,
that
wow.
is,
Thank you very much. I love
and bef-
every bit of it. I actually love the asasea, water, air. Wow. Hey, sometimes I
and
actually think that if asasea could talk, like he will slap,
yeah,
she will slap some of us. Oh.
definitely, she
Yeah.
will. So, in
Yeah.
our little ways, this is a call for us to show compassion to our environment. Whatever we are doing, let's ask ourselves all over again whether it is healthy for the present and tomorrow. And on that note, I would like to call on all of you, your audience, to also check out idinkralinks.net. At
Yes.
idinkralinks, yes, I am using your platform to talk about idinkralinks.
Of course, of
So,
course. And the links is for everyone.
yes, a Dinkra link is for
Yes.
everyone. It's for every person that is very creative at heart and in mind. And so we have a community of storytellers, of poets, of musicians, of visual artists, you name it, anything within the creative industry. And we have anthologies as well, poetry anthologies compiled by poets across the globe. And so you can also get some of our books from Amazon. We have then changing is the recent one. We have Aya the Resilience. We also have Funichu Funefu Saint, Speaking Beyond. A lot you can read from. And I happen to be the personal assistant to the director of Idinkra Melly Creative. So apart from Adamu, I am a lover of the art. Yeah. And so check it. We are also available on all social media platforms, Idinkra links. Yes. Thank you. Papa is the boss. The boss himself is on the platform.
Kindly put the social media links of it. People can get access to them.
Yes, I'll definitely do that. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Okay, so that was Ajovi Sika for you, and I hope you enjoyed her presentation. So the comment session is there. You can send your feedbacks and then your comments over there. Thank you very, very much. Okay, so all too soon, we are moving on to our next very important topic that we have to talk about. power and the abuse of power in an intergenerational workspace. And I am very privileged and honored to have Ms. Keleboyile Makunyane to present this very topic to us. Hello, Kel, and welcome. Thank you very much for all the awesome work you've done since the beginning till now. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Thank you so much, Fiona, for the lovely, lovely introduction. I am elated to be with you and your guests today in the room for this virtual hangout. I ask for forgiveness just to have my camera off, as I am technical and everything else in the background, but I hope my voice is clear for everybody to hear. And with that, we'll just start with the topic. Thank you. I'm just asking if you can see my screen. I'm just about to share the screen.
Yes, I can see your screen. Please, if you can see your screen, kindly type it in the comment section for us.
Okay. So I will be speaking today with the intention for the session, which is building a positive mindset for sustainable growth and development amidst an intergenerational workspace. I will be speaking specifically on power and the abuse, therefore, of an intergenerational workspace. We can start off with looking at the generational breakdown, but before that, I would please like for us to participate in a 5-minute mental health check. We have all had a long day. Some of us are about to have a long day, and sometimes it's very important to check in with yourself, with your body, so that you are not emotionally reacting to the situations around you, and so that you are always at peace. And with that, please indulge me with the next question, with the next few questions that I'm about to ask. You don't have to answer them to the chat, but you can just answer them to yourself, just to sort of check in with your body. Okay, so the 5-minute mental health checklist. The first question we have. Remember, you don't have to answer to me, but you can answer to yourself. The first question is, have I eaten regular meals? I encourage you with these questions to just take a breath before thinking about them and be as honest as you can with yourself. Only you know the truth. And with that, the second question, have I showered? The third question, have I been comparing my real life to other people's highlight reel? This one is extremely important, and that's because as young people in this youth hangout today, we are on Instagram, we are on Twitter, and we're looking at people's reels, we're looking at people's short videos of 2 minutes of their lives, and we're comparing it to our whole lives because we are only present in our own lives, not other people's lives, as social media has misled us. The next question, am I getting enough sleep? I can't stress the importance of getting enough sleep. You're not grumpy, you're not timid when you have enough sleep, and you're well rested to face the day. Have I been thinking kind thoughts to myself? I just want to extend this one by asking, have I been thinking kind thoughts to myself about myself? Am I speaking kindly to myself? The next question, have I spent time outside in fresh air? Next question, have I connected with someone I love? Have I moved my body today? That is the final question. And with that, I would just like, to move on. We can look here. So I'll start with the breakdown according to Forbes Africa of the generations. Before we go any further, I would like to just bring to your attention that these classifications are based more on an American statistics Therefore, we just use the dates as guidelines for the different generations. When we look at the definition of generations, it can be defined by family structure, stage of life, or historical events. But as you will see below, most often they're categorized as cohorts of people born during a particular period. Popular labels that apply to the generations currently in the workforce are, we start off with the silent generation, also known as a traditionalist, born between the years 1922 and 1945, and they are so called because they were raised during a period of war and economic depression. Then we move on to the baby boomers, born between the years 1946 and 1964, the result of an increasing births following the end of World War II. And then we have the Generation X, born between the years 1965 and 1980. Pardon me, just with this, please can I just have with a show of your electronic hand as I mention your generation. So if you were born between the years 1922 and 1945, just by a show of hands, as I mentioned, you can just raise your hands just so we know who we have amongst us. And then we've got the baby boomers from 1946 to 1964. Then we've got Generation X, which is 1965 to 1980. Following that, we've got Generation Y, born between the years 1981 and 1996. They are also known as the millennials, named with the popular focus on the millennium at the time. Millennials are also referred to as the new silent generation, as their childhood is marked by war and economic depression. And then last, we have the Generation Z, born between the years 1997 and 2012, the youngest, most ethnically diverse and largest generation to date. With a special addition to these is Generation Alpha, which is the generation born after 2013. Thank you for the show of hands and your participation with the generations present. In the past, it was common for just two age groups to be present in the workplace. There were only long-serving, dyed-in-the-wool employees and ambitious newcomers. Times have changed drastically, and now you can find yourself working with as many as 5 generations in one workspace. Broadly speaking, each one with its own set of preference, style, perspective, and experience. Therefore, in an intergenerational workspace, it's made up of employees from different generations working together towards a common goal. Now, below I have the different age groups in the labor force today, describing their traits and characteristics. When we look at the core values of the silent generation, they are respectful, they have respect for authority, they are compliant, and they are dutiful. But when we look at their furthest counterpart, which is Generation Z, they have their own uniqueness, authenticity, creativity, and shareability. When we look at the work ethic of the baby boomers, they question authority, they are self-centered, and they have their own crusading forces. But when we look at their counterpart, the Generation X, they are task-orientated, autonomous, and they have a work and life balance. When we look at stereotypes for all of these generations, we look at the silent generation as being regarded as old-fashioned, practical, and rule followers. Moving to their counterparts, which are the baby boomers, they are more ambitious. They are stereotyped to be more ambitious, optimistic, and wealthy. When we look at the Generation X and their stereotypes, they are known to be self-centered, risk takers, and cynical. And when we look at Generation Y, we have a stereotype of job hoppers, tech dependent, and constantly, and with Generation Z, we've got a stereotype constantly connected, distracted, apathetic, and multitasking. While generational diversity has great potential, people from different generations can grow and learn from one another as they may be exposed to one another's ideas and experiences. However, the potential for conflict and misunderstanding is very real. Intergenerational conflict within the workplace is a growing issue. The different generations can struggle to understand one another's values and working styles. working together, and sharing power can be problematic. As more people delay their retirement, younger generations can feel that their opportunities for career advancement are being restricted, which brings me to the crux of our discussion today: power and the abuse thereof in the intergenerational workforce. I would like to pose a question to the delegates here today. I want to find out from you what your idea of, when you hear the word abuse of power, what do you hear? So what do you think abuse of power is, and how can it manifest itself in the intergenerational workspace? You can raise your electronic hands. I will be taking questions, or you can send them to the chat. You can just send your answers to the chat, to the chat box. Thank you. Clement Malefo, please accept the prompt to unmute.
Oh, yes. Good evening, everyone. I'm not quite sure if all can hear.
We can hear you.
But my perception of power, or rather, my understanding of the use of power is the power in it is actually in letting it go. And by that, I mean, if the power is in the knowledge, then transferring it is the best way to use that power. And having that knowledge and not sharing it for another generation to pick up and proceed, or have the tools to, be able to run forth for their own future, is a form of abuse of power, because then you would have the power and then retain it, which in essence is the abuse of it, from my understanding.
Thank you for sharing, Clement. That was the perfect answer. Thank you. Fiona, please accept the prompt to unmute.
Okay, so from my understanding, the abuse of power is when you wrongfully use the power or the authority that you have against someone, somebody, or even yourself. Thank you.
Thank you for that answer,
Okay.
Fiona.
We have some answers in the comment section.
Yes, I'm just going to them now. Okay, so I've got an answer here. I think the way to reduce abuse of power is when people who are entrusted with the power see themselves as, sorry, I can't see the, okay, I've got it here. I think to reduce the abuse of power is when people who are entrusted with power see themselves as channels through which others are meant to be enriched. When they block the flow as the channel, the power is being abused. That's a lovely answer. Thank you. Okay, I will just move on with the next segment. Now, with this, I will have to just look at the Wikipedia definition of abuse of power. And it goes as such, open quote. Abuse of power or abuse of authority is the commission of an unlawful act done in an official capacity which affects the performance of official duty. Another definition we can look at is, open quote, abuse of power means the abuse of a position of power in order to harm other people, to bully them or place them at a disadvantage, or in order to procure personal advantages for oneself or one's favorite, close quote. Now, often we hear about abuse, we automatically think abuse of power by others. Today, I would like to challenge you to look at abuse of power from our own individual perspective. Not what others do to us, but what we do to others. Please let us look at a case study below of Ntati's story of abuse, and maybe yours too. Ntati, a 22-year-old enthusiastic young lady who has just been promoted to manage a division in her organization. This is the career that she's wanted since high school. And now that she's got a degree and has joined the team as an intern, her promotion, pardon me. She's eager to impress her subordinates as well as the management with her ambition and creativity. Ntati has a lot of ideas on how to improve productivity and get the best out of her team members. The team is a mixed bunch. Some are middle-aged and others are nearing retirement and have been at the company for years. They feel that Ntati doesn't understand the way things get done in the organization. Her enthusiasm and energy is starting to wane as she feels worn down by their reluctance to consider new ideas. She's constantly reminded by senior members of her staff that things have been working fine and they do not need any improvement. They undermine her authority in meetings and do not miss the chance to remind her of the mistakes that she made when she started out in the company. Furthermore, they remind her of the age difference and that she ought to respect her elders. When Tati hands out work, she's met with employees constantly shifting blame onto others, reminders that other managers have come and gone before her, and blatant disregard of company policy. Tati has become frustrated with the challenges of her new role. It has started to even affect a relationship with her partner and her colleagues. She finds herself mistreating employees when she is in a bad mood, highlighting to her subordinates that she is highly educated and can do a better job if they do not wish to do so. And worst of all, she becomes condescending to her subordinates even when they try their hardest. Now, with this above case study, in your opinion, how is the abuse of power manifesting itself? Please list the different ways. And if you were to find yourself in this kind of working environment, how would it affect the way you feel about your job, how you view your responsibilities, and how you interact with your colleagues and loved ones at home? Please raise your electronic hand if you wish to share. Thank you. You can either raise your electronic hand or send a message in the chat box. Thank you. So the inquiry question is, from this case study, in your opinion, where is the abuse of power manifesting itself? And if you were exposed to this kind of working environment, how would it affect the way you feel about your job, how you view your responsibilities, how you interact with your colleagues, and how you interact with your loved ones at home? Okay. Remember, the chat box is open. You can send in your answers for any of the questions from the case study that we've just gone through. In your opinion, where is the abuse of power manifesting itself? And if you were in this kind of working environment, how would it affect the way you feel about your job? So even though this kind of abuse can have dire effects on our personal lives and relationships, I'd like us to look at the effects on our immediate work environment. An environment like this will create stressed out employees. There will be a lot more harassment claims. There will be a more high work pressure, and there is a lack of trust in the organization between the different roles. There's a high employee turnover, and as you would imagine, you wouldn't want to show up to work. So it also causes a high workplace absenteeism and low employee productivity. This just means that the company is not meeting its goal. Therefore, it will cease to exist in a measured time. Now, with that, we can just look at strategies for intergenerational harmony. Now that our workplaces are more generally diverse than any other time in history, but at the risk of abuse, of conflict because of this, how do we all work together harmoniously and make sure that we do not affect each other's mental health negatively? Here are some strategies that I put together to start with. Because we are Africans, the first one that I listed is establish respect. We're Africans, and I believe that we are taught respect from a young age. And it doesn't matter how old or how experienced we are, we all crave respect. And just as newcomers need to respect older generations' seniority and experience, our long service need to adjust to and respect the talent and potential of younger generations. Only when each group respects the other can both thrive. One of the keys to this is to understand and accept that generations are different from yours. Consider what motivates people from different generations, what experiences they might have had, and what their working styles are likely to be. The table above us can help. The table above that I've discussed can help with understanding where the working styles are, what motivates people from different generations. Number two, learn from one another. The different generations have a wealth of knowledge and experience that they can share. The boomers in your team, for example, can pass on the knowledge, information, useful contacts, and perspectives that they have developed during their years of work. In return, a Generation Y colleague can help them get to grips with recent innovations, such as the latest developments in social media and viral marketing. Success in intergenerational teams starts with teams identifying, valuing, and building one another's skills and experiences. The focus on individual strengths rather than on generational differences is a key part of thriving in the modern workplace. Number three, be flexible and accommodating. When you understand what makes other generations tick, being able to accommodate their needs and preferences where practical, of course, can help prevent division and conflict. And each generation has its own wants and needs, and it values different ways of working. One of the most common traits with all generations, though, especially from an African perspective, is the responsibility for caring for both elders and children alongside their work, often with a big financial implication. For the younger generations, a sociable life outside of work is often just as important as their career. Number four, tailor your communication style. The generations often have their preferred method of communication. Silent and boomers tend to use one-on-one, telephone, or written communication, whereas Generation X and Y tend to like emails and text. Generation Z generally prefers the collaborative interaction of social media. So generations differ in the degree of formality they use too. Rigidly sticking to your own favorite means and style of communication can alienate others. So although it might not feel natural, try to tailor your communication to suit the recipient whenever it's appropriate. Number five, do not overlook the similarities. Focus on the things that unite you with your colleagues of all generations, rather than dwelling on the difference. This might be a struggle at first, and however stark the differences might appear to be, according to researchgate.net, there are more similarities than differences across the generations. I'm almost certain that we all like to feel engaged with work, to receive fair pay, to build a better quality of life, to be happy and respected, and so on. Likewise, many of us share the same grumbles, such as being undermined, having your job security threatened, or even being humiliated. Number six, and the final. As we have seen with the table above of the characteristics and traits of different generations, it's easy to stereotype different groups. For example, if you're a baby boomer, you may think of millennials as tech-obsessed and lacking in people skills. To Generation Z, boomers may seem to be stubborn and inflexible. The key is fighting your unconscious bias and accept individuals based on their merits, rather than as typical members of their generation. Remember, chances are someone may be stereotyping you. You can change their perception and attitude by demonstrating a willingness to listen to new ideas or suggestions. And in closing, I would just like to leave you with this quote. Just want to get it on the screen. Just for us to remember, we are all a one people, no matter what generation we come from. And in the words of Kwame Nkrumah, the forces that unite us are intrinsic and greater than the superimposed influences that keep us apart. So whichever generation you come from, it's up to you. The power is in your hands. Thank you.
You are welcome. Thank you very much. That was an awesome presentation. Please keep your comments and questions coming. And then I would like to ask this question. So how do we deal with stereotypes at the workplace?
Hi, Fiona. So how we deal with stereotypes is that, so from our own perspectives, because this is the perspective that I've challenged us to today, it's educating yourself, firstly,
Okay.
being teachable, because we all grow up in our different environments and we're told things about other people. We're told things about people that are different from us that we weren't really exposed to growing up. If you educate yourself on who's who, what's happening at any given time in the world, it will not be easy for you to fall for stereotypes. You will actually invest the time to get to know a person instead of just generalizing them with what you've heard or what you've been exposed to. Because as I think it was Chimamanda, she was speaking, she said, be careful of a one story, a single story, because that single story can make you think you know everything there is to know about a certain topic or a certain person, which can be the furthest from the truth. And if you're easily teachable, you can have any conversations.
Okay.
I see Richie has a
Wow.
question in the chat. Thank you, Fiona. Richie is asking, how do you deal with a narcissistic colleague? How is the narcissism manifesting itself, Richie? Is it blatant? Is it manipulative? How is it manifesting itself? Because then you can also just protect yourself with company policy. So if this person is a narcissist, I'm sure everyone that works closely with this person has experienced this. So how is it getting in the way of your productivity? How is it affecting your mental health? Because to your employer or even to you, your mental health must be important. So if you can bring a case against this person, and also if you've got proof that they are actually affecting your productivity, then you have something to go on. But I am a firm believer with having conversations that are honest and that leave you at peace with yourself. So whenever you feel this person to be exercising their narcissistic traits, pull them aside, have a conversation with them. And sometimes you might think they're being narcissistic. It might just be traits that they've been used to. They're used to getting away with it. So you having that conversation with that person at the time, in real time as it happens, might make them more aware. And as humans, we evolve the more we know. So you can try either one of those and see if any of them will get a solution. Thank you. There's a question from Abigail. Is it possible to abuse yourself or not to be considerate to yourself when you are self-employed? 100%. That is where we actually see what kind of abuse we're actually capable of with ourselves. You do the worst things to yourself that you necessarily wouldn't do to other people. And one of those is being at work for out of the 24 hours, you're at work 14 hours. When are you seeing your family? When are those other needs on Maslow's hierarchy of needs being met, except the one maybe to have an income? But that is not the main goal. And your body knows this, your mental health knows this, it knows that it needs your family, it needs a break so that you don't burn out, because you are, if we are being honest, when you are at work all the time, even if it's your own company, you're not resting. And when you are resting, you're stressing about the company. So you don't really have time for yourself, and self-care is extremely vital to your general health. I hope I've answered that. How do you avoid? You have to get yourself a calendar for one, and planning. And if you read, there's a book, Abundance Now. If you are a reader, this is a book I urge you to read, because it was written by a Black woman who was surviving on food stamps, and now she's got a registered company with the JSE. I think And she's just changed her life completely. And it's inspiring to see, because you have to be intentional about this. You cannot be spending 10 hours on something that you can pay somebody to spend an hour or 30 minutes for. And also, if you cannot afford to pay that person because you're self-employed, you're starting out, then it's amazing what people are willing to do to help out a fellow Black person, African person. If you see somebody that's good with computers, you can say, I'm not asking for much. This is also from the book, by the way. I'm not asking for much. I'm struggling with this. It's taking me hours to do. I know you would do it in 30 minutes. If you can just volunteer 10 minutes of your time a day, or however much, it's amazing the amount of time you save. My uncle likes to use this analogy. He says, I am not a professional painter. I know it will cost this much to hire a professional painter. Now, how you value it is you look at your time. How much is your hourly rate for your job? Or how much do you value your time? Look at the amount of hours you're going to be spending painting the house, and not doing a great job of it, by the way, because you're not a professional painter. You could have just called a painter, paid them the fee, because they have also invested time in their craft. They've gotten good at it. They've paid school for it. That's why they charge the price that they charge, instead of you now taking double the time, not doing a great job, and you're still tired at the end of it. So outsourcing not only creates a channel for all of us, but what you are investing your time in learning, the skill that you're honing right now, somebody else is going to need to pay for that. And this is how we justify that. Thank you. I hope that answered you, Abigail.
Wow, that was awesome. Thank you very much. Please, any other question or contribution? So I would want to ask, is it an abuse of power if you have the mind to think out solutions and you don't?
100%. You are robbing the world of that. And as Clement mentioned in his definition of power, if you're not passing on the knowledge, it's not just about passing the knowledge on to the younger generation, it's also, you see what is happening in the world right now. Do you think that you are here to just enjoy it and leave it worse than you left it? No, that is definitely not it. You're here to make a change. And those ideas that you're keeping in your head, you're depriving the world of it.
Okay. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
It's also an injustice. Thank you, Pia.
Actually, yes, I think it's very true. If you have the power to do something and you don't do it, it's like you're abusing the power that you have. So if you have a voice to speak out and you choose not to, then you're depriving the world of the great and excellent ideas that you have to help change things and make things better. Same way, if you have a creative ability and then you are shy and you don't want to exploit, you are abusing the power you have and you're making God sad. Okay. Thank you very much, Ms.
so
Keleboy. I'm very excited to have you here. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes. So that was Ms. Keleboy for us. She spoke on power and the abuse of power amidst an intergenerational workspace. And it was an awesome delivery. Abigail Aduboating, if you are here, I would like to have you on. So Ms. Kel could give us a quote from Kwame Nkrumah. And I was so excited about that. So Abigail Aduboating, if you're here, would like to hear you. Okay, so you would like to hear you sing the Ghana National Anthem. So we are acknowledging Ghana, Ghana, for giving us a place to stay. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hope my voice is audible enough.
Yes, please, I can hear. Please, if you can hear, kindly raise your electronic hand or give us a wave in the comment section. Thank you.
Okay. So I'm going to sing the national anthem. Okay. God bless our homeland, Ghana, and make our nation great and strong, bold to defend forever the cause of freedom and of right. Fill our hearts with true humility. Make us cherish fearless honesty and help us to resist oppression's rule with all our will and might forevermore. Oh, and help us to resist oppression's rule with all our will and might forevermore. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Abigail. I bet Mother Ghana is proud of you and proud of us wherever she is. Thank you very much. God bless you. Yeah. So that was Abigail Aduboateng for you. She's a student of the University of Energy and Natural Resource. She is an entrepreneur. She actually makes beads and sells them. So bead necklaces, anklets, bracelets. I've seen some of her works and they are very, very beautiful. So if you're in Ghana, if you're in Sunyani, and you need any of that, you can actually contact Abigail Aduboateng. Please, if you have any handles, kindly put them in the comment section so that people can get to see it and then link up to you. Thank you.
Thank you too.
All right. We are up for our next speaker, Mr. Gatin Agbam. Please, if you are here, kindly let us see you. Yay! And he is here.
Yeah, my place is not that clear.
Okay.
But I wouldn't be using camera, like I'll go off video.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Thanks for showing us something small like your face. We are grateful.
yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yes. Mr. Gatin Agbam is a sustainable development goals advocate, and he also works as an experimentation assistant for UNDP Ghana. So he is here to actually tell us what the sustainable development goals are and our role in achieving the sustainable development goals. So thank you very much for coming. Please, the ball is in your courts. Kindly play.
All right. Thank you very much, Fiona, and good evening to everyone. Yeah. So anyway, any statement made here is of my own and not that of UNDP. Let me first bring this acceleration in here first. So first of all, the Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs, known as the SDGs Agenda 2030, were first developed at the United Nations Conference on Sustainable Development Goals held in Brazil, somewhere 2012. To create a set of global goals related to environment, political, and economic challenges that we face as humanity. Yeah, so so somewhere in 2015, we had our leaders, that's 193 nations meeting to vote for the 17 objectives. That's the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. That's the no poverty goal 1, zero hunger goal 2, good health and well-being goal 3, quality education goal 4, gender equality goal 5, clean water and sanitation goal 6, goal 7 being affordable and clean energy, goal 8 being decent work and economic growth, goal 9 being industry, innovation and infrastructure, and goal 10 being reduce inequalities, and we have goal 11 being sustainable cities and communities. We have goal 12 being responsible consumption and production. We have goal 13 being climate change, climate action. We have goal 14 being life below water. We have goal 15 being life on land. And we have goal 16 being peace, justice, and strong institution. And goal 17 being partnership for the goals. So these were the 17 objectives that were gotten within the meeting, the conference that was convened. So they had to vote for this, and that was somewhere 2015, and they gave a time frame from 2015 to 2030. These goals should be achieved, and these goals were in place of the Millennium Development Goals, which were 8 goals. So the SDGs are of a commitment that seeks to address most urgent problems the world face and other related things. They are universal call to action. These goals are more or less like, if let's say they are linked, achieving, let's say, no poverty, you are reducing, let's say, zero hunger, you are reducing hunger. So that's one of the things. If you're also trying to reduce hunger, you're more or less like finding all means of reducing poverty. Because if you are poor, you know, be able to get food to eat. And looking at fighting climate change, it's linked to life below water, life on land. It's linked to clean water and sanitation, good health, quality education, and poverty and hunger. All these things, they're all linked up if you're fighting for climate change. So all these goals are linked up, and we more or less like have roles to play as youth. So if, let's say, as a youth, I decide to pick a goal, let's say climate action, I want to fight for climate. I form my own group. I'm able to put measures in place to make sure that I'm able to advocate for, let's say, other people to see the need to stand up for climate justice. You get it? So these are the things we need to do. So let's say the youth have a whole lot of responsibilities right now, because these goals, let's say, if they are going to be achieved, it's going to depend on the youth, the aged. They are about living now, and the resources, the natural resources we have, we can control that. Human resources are all that of the youth, because we have the strength. And we are very innovative, and that's one thing we sometimes don't see. The youth of late, like looking at back at the office, run a whole lot of challenges, innovation challenge, and you see some brilliant ideas coming in. And these are youth and not the aged. So looking at it, you ask yourself, where from all these innovations? So we have all these innovations, and we're not putting things in place to make sure that they are being used. So those are the things. So the youth are our human resource. We more or less like need to take good care of them. We need to put measures in place for them to be able to put their actions on board. So now we more or less have to look at how can the youth contribute to achieve these goals. One, what we need to do is we need to build the act to volunteer. Volunteerism is one of the things we need to do. if let's say we see problems, something happening, let's say problem in our community, we are sitting down waiting for government to do that. It's not everything government can do. So we more or less like have to learn how to volunteer. Let's say there's a program going in the community there, or I want to more or less like the chief is organizing a deba that's is more or less like to educate people, to let them know this is that. Then like there will be a team in place. And I know that I have some ideas to share to let the youth understand, or I have a role to play for it to be a success. I have to volunteer to do that. And the goals, the 17 goals are also there. I can also say, let me volunteer and help youth groups that are on board. We have a whole lot of youth groups that are there. The CSOs, civil society groups, are one of the key things like we have to look out for. And our government, I think they are working hand in hand with them. I'm part of the CSO groups as well. And I think that's they need to be given space as well. But in giving the space, in giving that space, how they would also contribute to achieving the sustainable development goals is also key. And you see most of them, we have most of them working on climate change. And most of them in the northern region, northern sector, most of them working on zero hunger and poverty and climate action as well, and quality education. We have a whole lot of youth groups on search, and they are doing their best to make sure that they are able to help achieve the sustainable development goals. The other one is advocacy. So if you're able to volunteer, you're able to advocate, like you'll be able to also advocate, right? So you more or less like educate people, let them understand what the sustainable development goals are, what we as youth will achieve from that. The Galamsey and all those things, it's all the youth that are heading towards there. But how can we more or less like help reduce that? It all boils back to volunteerism. If you're able to volunteer to more or less let people understand that doing this will affect our environment, doing this will affect our will bring bad, how would I say, will bring issues for us. It's also one thing, right? So we need to more or less like try to pick each goal. Try to join youth groups that are fighting for that are more or less that has picked these goals and are working with, right? Because right now, let's see the rains, we all see when it rains, what happens in our communities, right? We all see, let's see in Accra here is one of the major things we face, flood and all those things, like, and our gutters are being choked and all this. And so like, we can all come out as youth to more or less like bring programs. There are a whole lot of things that have been innovations or challenges that have been brought out, that have been drawn and put on net as well from UNDP and other institutions. We have GIZ as well. And we have the ACLAP Global, like they bring all those things out. That's the Accelerator Lab Global. They also bring challenges out, even from various countries, but you more or less have to apply and get grants. And let's say you're able to achieve. And one thing that is sometimes that reduces or bring down the morale of the youth on trying to volunteer is the funds. And like, let's say the agents that are there, like not giving opportunities to them. Those are one of the things that I know is bringing down the youth. And also one thing about it, sometimes they look at the application they bring in place, so they don't get the funds, and they begin to lose hope, no motivation again. But sometimes you need to look at the quality of applications you bring in. And through that, we are able to get funds. And sometimes there are other means of getting funds as well to be able to support like the ideas. To the youth, there are so many ways you can contribute to achieve the sustainable development goals. That's just volunteerism and advocacy. That's one of them. These are the major things you can do to achieve the sustainable development goals. There are major ways of doing that, but you have to volunteer. You have to more or less like advocate for people to know. That's educate people to know. And this will go a long way to help all of us achieve that. And I think as youth, if we more or less like build that that kind of zeal in us, we'll be able to achieve the sustainable development goals by 2030. And looking at it, yeah, even though we haven't achieved much, we are in 2022, 2023, and 2030. There is still more time for us. There's no much time, let me put in that way. There's no much time. Sometimes you see there's more time, but like it reduces the speed or the motivation. So there's no much time for us because looking at it, much is not yet achieved. We need to achieve these 17 goals in by 2030. And by 2030, the challenge is that let's just observe ourselves. What am I doing as a youth to achieve a goal that has been set by the United Nations? Let's just take some few seconds and look, am I doing something to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals? If not, then more or less, I'm throwing that challenge to you. Like, even it doesn't matter whether you're working with United Nations, you're not working with United Nations, you are working with government, you're not working with government, you're unemployed, there's no way. Like, all these things, even we do it in our daily lives, like it happens daily. So let's say every day I wake up, like there are certain activities I do that also affects how will I say achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. And there are certain things I also do as well that help me achieve the Sustainable Development Goals. Going to our institutions, wherever we work, our institutions are also mandated, like they are given that listen to more or less like achieve the Sustainable Development Goals. So if I'm working with, let's say, I don't know which institution to use, but let's say I'm working with one of the government institutions, let's say Ghana Education Service. That's there to make sure that like there's quality education, right? So in there, I try to look at myself, okay, as government, the education sector, what is government trying to do to achieve this? So do I also have a way of advocating for people to understand that quality education is key? Because education is really key. If you are not educated, or it's like they don't see you, you are not being seen, you are not able to achieve your aim because people just come and they cheat you. So those are the things we have to look out for. So even in our various offices, we have to make sure that we as youth stand out. Arise, Ghana youth, for your country. This is our only country we have. Like Ghana is our only country, right? South Africa is our only country. Zimbabwe is our only country. Like where the country you belong to, that's your only country. That's where you come from. So you need to devote that spirit, right? You need to devote that spirit to fight for them to achieve that. If Ghana is achieving 70% of the goals, the whole world is achieving that because it affects that. If Zimbabwe, South Africa is achieving 70%, they are contributing to achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. And these are 193 countries, nations that came together to more or less like vote for these 17 objectives. And they are more or less like, they are very vital to us. If you are able to achieve 60% of this, I don't think we'll face problems in our world today. Especially climate change. That's one of the things that's like, we all see what is happening in Europe. Like the temperatures are changing, right? And here it's rather getting cooler. So those are the effects we need to. So let's say if I'm in the UK, I have, how will I say, I form a huge group that is more or less educating people. Let's do this, talking to companies, negotiating with NGOs, like bringing things aboard, helping draw. There are already policies, the climate Paris Agreement, right? It's already there. Like there are other things we can look out for, like as youth, let's try to create things out. If you're able to create all these policies, like draw some few things and be able to negotiate with governments or with other NGOs that are there to support us. The seeds and the seed, something brilliant drawn out, there's no way they will help you out. So these are the things we need to put in place. And this will go a long way to help us all achieve the Sustainable Development Goals come 2030, right? So what the challenge I'm throwing to each and everyone here, or each and everyone on the call, is that, okay, the question is, do you think that by 2030 we'll be able to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals? Looking at yourself, am I doing something to achieve that? If you're not doing that, meaning you're not contributing something to that. You're not contributing to achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. But if you are doing something to achieve that, then look at yourself. 2030, is it achievable? Is it too soon, or we need to add more time to it? You get it. So this is a challenge I'm throwing to you, that each person should try and fight or advocate for a goal. And I want to see on social media, like, more or less, okay, I'm an advocate for goal 1, no poverty. I'm an advocate for goal 10, reduce inequalities. I'm an advocate for goal 5, gender equality. And I was much impressed, like, when I saw the flyer, like, I was the only guy that was there. I said, hey, like, the only guy on this flyer, like, seriously. I thought, like, it will only be guys, but now, like, we are seeing that it's mixed up. And how would I say, we have a guy there who is also, like, the only guy on the team, right? So that's one of the things, like gender equality. We have to make sure that it's not only, everything is not only men. No, the women are also parts, and also not only women, but men are also part. So if you're able to blend that together, we are able to achieve this. One person cannot fight this. We all have to fight that. We all have to join hands and fight for these 17 goals to be achieved. If we achieve 50% or even 60% of these goals, I don't think we'll face certain challenges we are facing right now in our various countries or the world of today. So I urge you all to more or less, like, go out there from now onwards. Immediately, like, after this meeting, go out and say no. Read more about the Sustainable Development Goals. Read more about the policies of that are governing that. And look at it. Which goal do I think suits me? If I see that this goal suits me, the challenge is that be an advocate for that goal. And there's no way you have contributed 100% for us to achieve that. Thank you very much for this opportunity. And if there are any questions, please, I'm on standby to answer that.
Wow. Thank you. Please, if you have questions, kindly drop them in the comment section or raise your electronic hand so that we can call you to ask your question. The question I would want to ask is that from your presentation, you said by 2030, these goals, the projection was that by 2030, these goals will be achieved. And now we are in 2022, meaning we have like 8 years left. So from the work that has been done currently, do you think that there'll be a need to extend the period to achieve this goal?
Yes, let me bring this disclaimer again. This is of my own like idea, not that of UNDP. So, but yes, as at now, I have not seen like much has not been done. A lot has been done. Let me put it that way. A lot has been done, but like I don't think by 2030, like in the next 8 years, we'll be able to achieve the 17 goals. But maybe a percentage of 60%, or let's say, yeah, a percentage of 60% by 2020, by 2030, we should achieve that. But I think that let's say in the next by 2025, there will be a review on that. So I'm sure by then they'll be able to more or less like adjust the time. But my prediction is that they would more or less like add more time to it, because there's a whole lot that is going, and there are some few things they need to add up or more or less like reduce from that. So okay. That's it. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. Please, if you have a question, you can ask in the comment section. Okay. All right. So we
seen one question.
Okay. Why can't it be achieved in 2030? What are the challenges? Why
Yeah.
can't the goals be achieved?
Yeah, why it cannot be achieved is how will I say, there's no much there's a whole lot of advocacy going on like each institution happening, but like that's morale in us to achieve each goal is not there. That's my perception. And also like looking at it, most people don't still understand what sustainable development goals are. Most people don't even know what sustainable development goals are. Maybe let's say you can ask some few people here, like how many of them know what sustainable development goals are? How many of them know what it stands for? How many of them can mention about 5 goals out of this? Like it's not everybody that knows that. So they still need a whole lot of things. There's still a whole lot of education that needs to be carried out, you see. Like there's no, like people don't really understand what the sustainable development goals are. And that's why I'm saying that if each person understands what the goals are, what it really means to us, there's no way they would come out and advocate for the goal that touches them. And that's why I even threw a challenge to each person: read more about the sustainable development goals and pick one and advocate for it. You can tag me on any social media with my name. You just type Gaten Agbam. You see that, like, tag me. There's no way I would retweet, I would reshare, I would help you out. Like, I also contribute to your advocacy, right? We have CSO groups in each community or like each country. Like you meet with those groups, be able to reach out to them. The challenges is that there are no much challenges to it. Let's say there are about 3 or 4 I think are the major challenges. That's advocacy and volunteerism, and also the funds. There are not much funds do, but we need to more or less like find all means of educating people. Come out, like the youth, we need to like come out and fight for that. Just the youth anthem. I wish someone could sing that, and that's one of the things that motivates me. Right, arise, Ghana youth for your country, the nation,
Actually,
the
it's on.
worship. Right. So if let's say this is my country, I have to rise as a youth. I have to stand as a youth to do something to show that I'm also a changed person. I'm also impacting, bringing something new to make sure that our world is different. My country I am in is different. My country I am in, what the government brought, more or less like being part of the 193 nations that voted for this 17 objectives. Like I also do something to achieve that, right? Wow. So more or less like you need to more or less like volunteer, you need to more or less like advocate, you need to more or less like help. There are funds available like by UNDP, all nations, like in all nations, they bring them some funds to support that. So the thing is that the funds are not that much, but like you need to go through some processes to achieve that. So the challenges, those are the challenges, like lack of volunteerism, lack of advocacy, and lack of like funds to help them run that. So those are the things that we need to more or less build that spirit and help achieve the sustainable development goals by 2030. Thank you.
You are welcome. Thank you very much. So that was Gaten Adam talking to us about the sustainable development goals and how we can help to achieve them. So if you are here, just as he threw the challenge to us, you pick one and then you come up with nice and creative ideas and ways that you can help solve that. It's not just about trying to solve it, but helping people to get to know what the sustainable development goals are and volunteering to help achieve them is a way you can help UN. Like you can help all of us, every country, achieve these goals. Thank you very much for your submission. It was great having you here. We are grateful.
Thank you.
All right. So now that there's a call to action, we would have Abigail Amanoki help us, enjoy the youth anthem. So it's Arise Ghana Youth. So youth from other countries, South Africa, Nigeria, Zimbabwe, if you are listening, so at the point where she says Ghana, you mention your country, and then you make that pledge that you help your country. Okay. So Abigail Amanoki, if you're here, kindly let us see you.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Please, I'm not audible.
Okay. So yes,
Hello.
please. Abigail, if you're here, just do your thing.
I'm not audible.
Yes, please. Please, if you can hear her, kindly let us know. Give us a wave or something.
I can hear.
Okay.
Okay. Please, can I start?
Yes, please, you can.
Arise, Ghana youth, for your country. The nation demands your devotion. Let us all unite to uphold her and make her great and strong. Arise, Ghana youth, for your country. The nation demands your devotion. Let us all unite to uphold her and make her great and strong. We are all involved. We are all involved. We are all involved in building our motherland. We are all involved. We are all involved. We are all involved in building our motherland. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much for the
very
song. Thank you. I'm really happy. Yeah.
So indeed, we are all involved. We are all involved in this process. As much as we want to have a good life, let us also strive to make our motherland proud as well. Okay, so we have our very final speaker for today, and she's in the person of Miss Janat Isifu. No.
Hi, Fiona.
Hello, Mommy.
Good evening.
Good evening. Please, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm glad you're here.
I'm happy to be here.
Okay, so Ms. Janat Isifu is the founder and CEO of One Hive Ghana. So I am privileged to be part of the One Hive community. It's a female-focused community, and she is here, and she's going to tell us the institutions available and their role in youth entrepreneurship and development. So that is what Ms. Janat is going to be speaking to us about. Hello, Mommy, please. You can.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Good evening to all our guests. Kindly pardon me. I usually spend my Sunday with the extended family, so the place is a bit noisy, so the background might be a bit disturbing. So kindly pardon me for that. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, please. We can hear you.
Okay. All right. So I can go ahead, right?
Yes, for me.
All right. Thank you so much, Fiona and the team, for the wonderful works you are doing to help develop country in your own small ways. I believe that with time, you're going to do greater things. And it's so exciting to see your beginning and how you are really excelling and at your beginning. Yes, let me put it that way. So I would say that indeed entrepreneurship is a drive, a very important drive to economic development, and we cannot overlook it when it comes to discourse that are geared towards development. So when we talk about entrepreneurship, it is something that all stakeholders, everybody should be particular about, because it gives an opportunity for our young people to be creative, to be innovative in bringing out solutions to the various challenges that we are faced as a country. Because every entrepreneur creates solution. Every entrepreneur looks in their at the environment, and they are able to determine the challenges and problems that are within the environment, and they conduct their research. They are able to know what they can do, or the things that they can put in place to solve these challenges. And when they get these solutions, these are channeled into a form of a business or a startup. Yes, so you realize that they are creating solutions to problems, but at the same time, they are generating revenue from their operations, which helps to, create employment opportunities for themselves, for others. And in the long run, they're able to, improve the livelihood of people and the community in general. So entrepreneurship is an essential to development. And in our country now, I would say that both the private and public sectors are doing tremendously well to ensure that the youth are empowered. As a matter of fact, their interests are driven towards entrepreneurship development on our university campuses, even some senior high schools. There's been, clubs that have been created in schools to start driving the interest of students towards creating their own business or having an entrepreneurial mindset. So I'll just take you through some of the organizations under both the government and private agencies or institutions that advocating strongly for youth development. It doesn't end at advocacy. Some of the organizations are going ahead to give business development support, funding support to these young people to make sure that, first of all, your idea is hatched, you are able to get funding. So when we look at the government agencies, one of the agencies or initiative by government that we can look at is the National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Program. So which we call the NEIP. So when it comes to NEIP, they focus on providing business development services, startup incubation, and funding for young businesses to enable them to grow and become successful. The second organization I'll also look at is the Ghana Enterprise Agency. So they also do the same thing. They give business development support, and they go ahead to give soft loans to small businesses. And with Ghana Enterprise Agencies, they have the business advisory center, which is across all the districts in Ghana. So if you want to reach out to maybe an outlet, that's a small outlet in your district that can help you to develop your business in terms of planning, in terms of your financial, how to spend, in terms of how to keep your records, then the business advisory centers give such support to them. Currently, the government have launched the Youth Starts program under the Ghana Enterprise Agencies, which is also geared towards supporting young people in entrepreneurship. So there is a lot that is being done at the national front. The National Youth Authority is also doing their bit. When you come to the Bono region here, we've had a series of trainings with the National Youth Authority in IT, in websites, mobile app development, in vocational skills training and all of that. Such trainings, when received, can help one to be able to, start their own businesses. So with the government sector, there are lots that is being done, but these are the few because of time. And when it comes to the private sector, one of the organizations that are or institutions that are really doing well in driving entrepreneurship is the hubs or innovation spaces in Ghana. I'm fortunate to be the director in charge of gender and inclusion on the Ghana Hubs Network. So we are well aware of the works of the hubs or innovation space in Ghana. We have hubs across the 16 regions of Ghana, of which one hive Ghana is also a part of the hubs, and we are located in the Bono region. So wherever that you are located in this country, if you want access to capacity development trainings, if you want your startup to be incubated so that you can receive business development support, mentorship, or any form of support to be able to expand and grow your business, if you want to get access to technical trainings, tech-oriented trainings, like currently One Hive Ghana is running a free 6-week web app development training for our ladies at the hub. And right after the web app development training, we will send the ladies into incubation, whereby we will help them to be able to bring something out of what they've learned. So the training doesn't end there. We want everyone to be able to bring out an idea, a solution to a problem in the society with the skills that they will learn. So these are some of the things that the innovation spaces are doing across the country, and it's towards entrepreneurship development, and the target is for young people. So when we say a lot are being done, indeed a lot are being done, and most of these organizations are focusing on us, and we are totally biased. Our support, our activities, program benefits, everything is for women, because women are lacking when it comes to even areas. So our focus is purposely to build the capacity of women, and we have other hubs that are doing for both men and women across the country. Now we can also look at advocacy, organizations or groups like the Ghana Chamber of Young Entrepreneurs, advocacy group like that. They are also helping to, push more, advocate for more young people to into entrepreneurship development. Yes, so they are also doing their bit. They have groups across the country as well. For Bono region, I'm aware that there is one here. So if you want to be a member, there is an opportunity for you. They hold regular engagement. They support startups with opportunities, business development opportunities, funding support, and all of that. And also we have international organizations that are also in Ghana here to support young people, and one of them is GIZ. So GIZ is currently holding a lot of tech-oriented trainings for rural women, who wants to, use digital means in operating their business. They are also doing training programs for young people who wants to learn tech-related programs, mobile app, website. They are also giving support to entrepreneurs with their Redo program, of which I am a coach on that program. With that one is purposely for Ghanaians who have relatives in the diaspora. So if you have someone, a relative in Germany who is willing to support you to establish a business, then the relative in Germany will make a commitment, and GI is based on that commitment to support you to establish your business here. And in Bono region alone, I have coached close to 40 businesses, 40 small businesses. So you can imagine the amount of support that is coming to people here. So it's great. The works are great, but there is still more to be done. And also MasterCard Foundation is doing tremendously well under the Young Africa Works program, and of which One Hive Ghana is partnering with them in partnership with Ghana Tech Lab as well, to have the PASSE program, that is Pathway to Sustainable Employment program for young people. So with them, they have an agenda that by the year 2030, they should be able to create employment for about 375 million young people in Ghana. So they are doing that through digital means. So they are doing series of digital skills trainings. We have done web app, we've done mobile app. Other hubs in Ghana have done digital meet, a lot of skills training that are ongoing. And one happy thing about these trainings is that it doesn't end at the training. Look at the sustainability of what skills, of the skills you've come to learn. Because most of the time, one thing that we're mistaken as institutions supporting entrepreneurship development is that when you give the skills to the people, you leave them with the skills and you do not check how they are progressing, whether they've been able to apply it, whether they need some support to be able to move forward with the skills or not. We don't check up on them again. We've done the training, we've satisfied our partners, and that is all. No, that's not how the program works. You have to follow up. Even if you as the institution, you do not have the means to support them financially at that point in time, you should keep in touch. You should communicate with them. You should connect them to future opportunities that will come, so that the skills that they learned from your institution will not be wasted. Yeah, so these are some of the institutions, a few of the institutions that are supporting entrepreneurship development in Ghana. I know a lot of them are upcoming. For the hubs in Ghana, we have over 54 innovation spaces in Ghana across the country that are supporting entrepreneurship development. So you can go to the Ghana Hubs Network site and you have this information, you have their location, so that wherever that you are in the country, you can easily get access to entrepreneurship development or business development support. All right, thank you. So if you have any questions, you can let me know.
Wow, thank you very much. If you have any questions, kindly drop them in the comment section. Questions about business, about entrepreneurship. Okay, so all right, it's a clap. Okay, I thought that was a hand. That was Miss Janet, and she has given us a beautiful presentation about the institutions available and their role in youth entrepreneurship and development. Ms. Janet, while we wait for our questions, would want you to tell us a bit about One Hive Ghana and how.
Oh, hello.
Yes, please.
I'm really sorry. I didn't realize how I messed that up. I wanted to add it at the final part, but
Okay.
I didn't want my network to mess up before I did the actual presentation.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. So One Hive Ghana is a female-focused innovation space, as I earlier mentioned, and we are into business development and entrepreneurship support, startup incubation, acceleration, and also capacity development training programs for young women. So everything about women that is focused on their capacity development, we do. And so far, we've been able to train over 1,020 ladies in business development, technology-oriented programs, mentorship, and others. Our office is located in the Blue region, specifically in Sunyani. And we have been able to build a strong partnership with our stakeholders. And by so doing, I'm speaking of the National Youth Authority, Department of Gender, Ghana Enterprises Agency, a lot of the organizations here. So it becomes very easy to get support from them, not financial support though, but technical support from them that makes our works easier. So far, we've worked with GIZ, we've worked with MasterCard Foundation under the PASSE program. We've also worked with Plan International, Ghana Tech Lab, Social Enterprise Ghana, Rich for Change Africa, and Dot Youth, and I think I would definitely forget some, but all of these organizations or partnerships are towards entrepreneurship development. With Plan International was specifically to have a vocational skills training for the young women. So because we realize that most of the time we tend to do tech-related stuff, forgetting that we have a section of our people who are also interested in, vocational skills. So with that particular program, we decided to merge vocation with tech, and it was a great experience for the women. So it's been great so far. Everything women we do, everything women capacity development. That is what we do.
Wow, that's awesome. Okay, so I'm having a question here that how do we access the MasterCard scholarship? Is there a way, like, do you have any information about that?
Yeah. Hello, Fiona.
Yes, please. Welcome back.
I'm sorry, my network. So
Yeah.
the question again, please.
Yeah, so the question is that how do we access the MasterCard scholarships?
Okay, usually it's a yearly scholarship, so applications are usually done through their website. So if you want to access, then you have to keep yourself updated, or you have to be stuck to their website to get informed when it's time for the applications are out. Yes. So with the scholarships, we do not work with them on scholarships. Ours is strictly towards digital training. Yes. So if you want the scholarship, possibly you have to get stuck on their website to get informed. Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. So Memshak, I hope your question has been answered. So now that social media is doing a lot of good, you can just check out the various institutions she has mentioned on social media, on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. So you can check their social media platforms so that you get updated on when applications are open, when there are opportunities and all that. Thank you very much. So thank you very much, Mommy, for coming. I am very grateful. Like, we appreciate you so much. I'm actually a beneficiary of One Hive Ghana. And if you admire my growth process, One Hive Ghana is one of the contributors, and I'm so grateful to them for all that. So thank you very much, Mommy. Wow. So all too soon, we have come to the end of our presentations. If you have a question, a comment, contribution, or that you want to tell us, any feedback, kindly raise your electronic hand or put it in the comment section for us. Okay, so if there aren't questions or contributions or comments, I think we'll draw the curtain to a close. And then I would like to acknowledge everyone, beginning with some special people that I cannot end this meeting without talking about. So first of all, my papa is here, Dr. Gaveli Todro. Papa, please, if you can hear me, kindly unmute. Yay!
Thank you, Fiona.
Yeah, so Papa is joining us all the way from Glasgow, and I'm very, very excited and happy. Thank you very much, Papa, for coming. And then we'd like to hear something from you.
Oh, what can I say? It's been a brilliant program. I think we all need to hear the range of topics that were touched on today by the different presenters, from looking at what it takes to become what we want to become,
Okay.
to understanding power and how sometimes power is abused, but also how we can prevent that. I think we need all these discussions on an ongoing basis, especially the need for us all to join in the work about realizing the SDGs. I think as young people, the future belongs to you, and you need to take control of how the future is perceived, how it is, how the future is shaped and realized for the benefit of your generation and the generations after you. So thank you very much for organizing it, especially for inviting me to join as well. And I look forward to what you have ahead, what you've planned for the future.
Thank you very much, Papa, for coming. Yes, so you all heard Ajobi Sika talk about Adinkra links. So Papa Gameli is the director for Adinkra links. So if you were here and then you could see some powerful contributions he made throughout, and he is my mentor. And actually, if you are creative and you want to explore your talent, your gift, and all that, Edinkra Links is open to welcome you on board. So thank you very much, Papa. God bless you. Now, after Papa, I would also want to thank all my guests for today. You guys did amazingly well. Even though we had some challenges, you still stayed on up until now. Thank you very much. We greatly appreciate your patience and for sticking around with us. I have Betty Asafweje. Please, if you're here, kindly unmute yourself. Is she here at all? Okay. Okay, so I think Betty is missing in action. Mem Shak, if you're here. Okay, so Betty is here. And hi Betty. Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay,
Yes, so we are happy to have you here. Any comments, contributions?
I would like to actually thank you for hosting this and inviting us all. Okay, I think it's my bad for joining quite late. So, but then thanks for thinking about some of us and then inviting us to such an event. Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so we have okay, Dorothy Precious of Designers in Vogue GH. If you're here, kindly unmute yourself. We'd like to hear from you.
Hello.
Yeah. Hello, Dorothy.
Hi, Fiona.
Yes, please. A word for us.
Oh, thank you very much for this great program. I was actually waiting for today to come, and I must say that though we faced challenges, I'm hoping that way forward, these things won't happen. Yeah, and everything was actually on point. I really love the fact that the guests enlightened us on what they have experienced and what they have also learned. And I hope we all will use it in our daily lives. Thank you very much for the opportunity once again.
You're welcome. Thank you. So Dorothy, you can put your business link in the comment section. So Dorothy is the co-founder of Designers in Vogue GH. They are into fashion. So your dresses and all that they can make for you. You can hit them up. She'll put the links in the comment section. Memshak, kindly unmute yourself.
Hi.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, please, we can.
Okay, so it's actually raining at my end, so pardon my.
Okay.
So yeah, it was a great informative session, and I think I learned a lot. Also, I would say a lot of we the youth don't really put in work to self growth. That is how I'll put it.
Okay.
A lot of us don't put in work to self growth. So getting into connection with some of these ideas and these kind of informative sections, I mean, will do a lot of good to some of us.
Okay.
So it was a wonderful time, and thank you, Fiona, for organizing this program, and to all the guests. I'll say thank you so much. We look forward to having series of meetings.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for joining us as well. Okay, so I have Manuel. Manuel, please, if you're here, kindly unmute yourself. Okay, so Myers, Myers, please, if you can hear me. Okay, so Manuel is here.
Hello.
Hi, Manuel. Is it a Manuel I know, or this is a different Manuel?
The same Manuel, you know.
Oh, okay, that's awesome. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, welcome.
So please, a word for us.
I've been busy, but I have to find time. Most of the times I don't make it to your event, so this time I decided to try and be part. So I've been part of the session, and it's nice listening to the various speakers. I know a few of them, and those that I don't know, I've sent them friend request on LinkedIn, and others I'm following them on Twitter, so they can also follow back so that we can link up. But next time, maybe they can share their contact details for a quick networking.
Okay.
So that's my suggestion.
Okay. All right. Wow. Thank you very much, Manuel. Your feedback is helpful to us. Thank you. Harriet Myers. Okay, so Harriet Myers, if you're unable to speak, you can just type your comments in the comment section for us. We'll be very grateful for that. Let me see. I have Horaba. I don't know if oh, it's Karabo. I don't know if I'm pronouncing the name well, but if you're here, just let me know. And then also I have Vicky. I have Vicky here. Please, if you're here, kindly raise your hand. Okay.
Hello.
Yes,
Hello.
Victoria. Hello. Hello.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hello, please can you hear me?
Yes, please, I can hear you, and I'm excited to have you.
Yes, please. Thank you so much for the session as well. It's been very impactful, and I'm grateful I joined. So thank you so much, and for your team as well for putting this up together to help a lot of the youth and to impact a lot of lives. We are grateful. Thank you so much.
All right, you are welcome, and thank you very much for giving us a portion of your time. Time is very valuable, and staying here means that you value us gifts. Thank you. Okay, Disciple. I have Disciple here. Disciple 90. If you're here, please let me know. Okay. Disciple, okay. So while we wait for Disciple, we can't wait for her. We have like 2 minutes to end this meeting. All right, so Miss Kel. Hello, Kel.
Hi.
Okay. Yeah, so give us our final words as we end the session. It's been a very interesting day.
It's been a lovely day, and thank you again, Fiona, for having me. I've learned a lot.
Welcome.
I have a lot to think about. And I hope this session was as transformational for me as it was, for everyone as it was for me. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you very much. Okay, so we are wrapping up, and I would want to thank everybody for joining. I'd want to thank Gating. I would want to thank Ms. Kel, Abigail, Godwin, Betty, everyone who joined this session. We are very grateful. Those who sent their apologies too, they are very well acknowledged. Yes, thank you very, very much for joining. We'll be having, okay, so our social media handles. Creatives Coterie Gh is on Facebook, and you can follow me, Fiona Mobile, on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and even on TikTok, yes, for more updates about our subsequent activities. Thank you very much for coming. We are very grateful. It's a minute to 8 o'clock, and I'd want to say bye-bye. Gaten, do you want to say something? Is he saying
You're on mute,
something?
Gaten.
Yeah, no. Just want to thank you for the opportunity. And as I said, I'm throwing the challenge to everyone. Let's all try to achieve the sustainable development goals. It's for our own good, and we need to push out and volunteer more. Yeah, so that's all. And I wish everyone the best in whatever work they are doing. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay, so talking about volunteering, you can volunteer in our organization if you're available. So you just hit me up, and then we'll talk more about that. Thanks everybody. Bye. Let me show my face for the last time. Okay, bye. Bye, everybody.